only make me stronger. I need you very up now, cause I can't wait much longer.
Thank you, Al Haymon. Thank you so much. I'm actually happy to be here today. Bit of a sore throat, but I'm going to say I'm T-Street Controversy. I call the show T-Street Controversy Live, and I cover boxing. So I'm going to talk about something that you probably noticed or you have not noticed, and that is Amir Khan, Robert Guerrero, Lucas Matthysse, Keith Thurman, Devin Alexander, Sean Porter, Erislandy Lara, Jermell Jermall Charlo, the brothers Charlo, Austin No Doubt Fish Trout, and the list goes on. Adrien Broner, Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson, Deontay Wilder, John Molina, and Jose Zito Lopez. The list goes on. But what I'm saying to you is, where is the fall matchups? Right now is October the 9th, 2014. Where's the winter matchups? Amir Khan is set to return on Showtime December the 6th. But against who? And that fight is supposed to be the build-up to maybe his Mayweather fight in May. So what I'm asking you is this. We've heard about Haymon Boxing, Haymon Sports, Haymon boxers fighting on NBC. An exclusive NBC deal, 24 dates, $20 million. And you ask yourself, 24 dates, that's about 2 fights a month, 2 cards a month they can do. And he has a lot of fighters to do it, but you ask yourself, what's going on with Showtime? What's going on with the end of this year? Now we know Al Haymon fighters have been fighting on Golden Boy Promotions cards. We know that Richard Schaefer, or allegedly Richard Schaefer and Al Haymon tried to buy Golden Boy Promotions from Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was basically like, no, fuck that, I'm Oscar De La Hoya, I'm the Golden Boy. Golden Boy Promotions is not nothing without the Golden Boy. Richard Schaefer is sidelined. Richard Schaefer can't do anything until 2018 because technically he still works and he still gets paid from Golden Boy Promotions. He just can't be involved in day-to-day operations. So you ask yourself, well, wait a minute, did they expect this to happen? Because with these matchups, here's the reason why I haven't been as critical about Al Haymon as of late, because I'm trying to figure out what his plan is. Now, no matter what, as I said in previous videos, it's his responsibility to provide us with the best fights regardless. I have Showtime, I have HBO, I have ESPN, NBC Sports, I have Xfinity Comcast. So I don't watch nothing else but the news, probably the stream, Boardwalk Empire, Game of Thrones, Sons of Anarchy, ESPN, and boxing. I don't watch no goddamn Duck Dynasty. You know, I do watch Naked and Afraid. You know, and I watch Life Below Zero and maybe some animal shows and Bizarre Foods. But outside of that, realistically, I can watch all that stuff online. So when I'm watching bullshit cards, and I'm saying bullshit cards, you know, with Francis Barthélemy, you know, I'm thinking to myself, he can do better than this. He has the fighters we clearly know. I don't like when these fighters say, well, I'm going to go talk to my team, and his team going to go talk to his team. And you think, thank you, Al Haymon. You're both managed by the same motherfucker. So it gets to a point where it does get frustrating. But once again, I say, well, he must be planning on having a big blockbuster 2015. And people say, why is Pacquiao fighting Chris Algieri? I know. But if you look at the history, top-ranked fighters don't fight Al Haymon fighters. Despite the fact that Oscar De La Hoya says the Cold War is over, they don't fight each other. You know, so you can talk all that bullshit you want. And until a Manny Pacquiao versus a Danny Garcia, a Keith Thurman, a Marcos Maidana, any of that can happen. Those are all Al Haymon fighters. He's got to fight Floyd Mayweather first. So a lot of reasons why these top ranked Al Haymon fights can't fight is because they got that big one up at the top first. They got to make before you can make any of the small ones. You know, if you can't make the biggest fight in history, how are you going to make a Timothy Bradley versus a Keith Thurman, or a Timothy Bradley versus a Devin Alexander 2, or a Timothy Bradley versus Amir Khan, you know, or a Marquez versus Amir Khan? And Marquez is a whole different situation. I don't want to talk about the Terminator, but we're in a situation right now where we have a media recluse. Now, he's always around. Al Haymon is always around. Al Haymon is probably the biggest promoter in the galaxy as far as music promoter and now boxing promoter. But he does no interviews. He does no written interviews, no verbal interviews, no nothing. The last time he released some statements on something that I found was when he had an interview about SFX and Live Nation joining together. And that was in like Jet Magazine or something like that. And I'm dead serious. The dude just doesn't answer any questions or take any questions from the media. So he's going to be under constant criticism. And that's just common sense because no one knows what his plan is, and he allows people to assume, and he won't tell us. If he was to say, have a press conference and say, hello, I'm Al Haymon. I'm Alan Haymon of Alan Haymon Enterprises, formerly of Live Nation and SFX, or wherever the hell he works. I want to have my boxers fighting on NBC Sports in the biggest fights of the year. Now, if he just came out and did some type of press conference and say, like, this is the plan, what we're going to be doing moving forward, maybe people wouldn't be so critical of him. But me doing the research I've done on him and saying, well, wait a minute, this guy is he's been doing this with some of the biggest music stars, Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, Lady Gaga, Madonna, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and the list goes on and on. So Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake, Young Money, Cash Money billionaires, whatever they call themselves with her fake ass butt. You think to yourself, well, he can get shit popping anytime he wants, but why won't he? So fans are left to assume, oh, he cares too much about his fighters. He cares about them being safe and keep winning, but they're not fighting each other or the fights that we want them to see. For example, ESPN. You had Anthony and Andre Dirrell in the same arena, along with Peter Quill and Hassan N'Dam and Jermaine Taylor. It was Jermaine Taylor's card, Andre Dirrell fought early on the card. All Al Haymon fighters, all can fight each other at some type of weight, whatever the case may be. But they're not calling out each other because why? It makes me think that they have no reason to think that they will fight each other because Al Haymon just wants to use these guys to beat up on other stables of fighters. And that's the way it looks. It looks like Al Haymon uses his fighters to beat up on other stables of fighters. And then if you just so happen to have a good fight, you might end up getting signed, by Al Haymon. And Al Haymon has a reputation, from what I'm reading, is stealing fighters is what they're calling it. He'll wait for a small time promoter to bring a fighter up to a certain level, and then he'll come in like, yo, come here. I like you and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And then you pull out this folder. The choice is yours. And then they just look, they open it up, and they be like, celebrate good times, come on. They say you got the keys to a car, a Jaguar or something. It's going to be like the keys to an apartment. All you got to do is sign, and you got to make sure you only get to miss it 1 in every 10 fights. So 9 out of 10 fights, you have to say thank you, Al Haymon. And if you do, and if you say it 8 out of 10 times, then there's a good chance you're going to probably lose some money or maybe lose a TV date. That's just the word on the curb, whether you take it serious or not. I'm TstreeT Controversies. It's TstreeT Controversy Live. I like to have fun on my shows. I cover boxing. I'm the #1 person on YouTube that does it. Why? Because of hard work and dedication. And what you see is just the box. There's a big plan. Al Haymon's got plans. TstreeT's got plans too. And right now, if it's reporting on Al Haymon to get to TstreeT's plans, then that's what TstreeT's going to do. TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Live. All my videos, boxing articles, interviews from people actually within the business are right down below. The link is Real Combat Media. I'm thinking I'm going to the Steve Cunningham press events. I probably won't go to the fight coming up on October, the 18th. I'm going to Hopkins versus Kovalev. So things are moving. You're not just subscribing to some guy. TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Live.